Hey everyone, okay, so another soap video. Today I'm doing a soap for my mom who has sensitive skin, and so I'm going to use some colloidal oatmeal and some special oils that I've researched and are supposed to be very, very good for sensitive skin. Now, I am going to do some fragrance and some color, and I said to my mom, you know, if you have sensitive skin, I shouldn't put any fragrances or colors in it. But she said, well, then it wouldn't smell very good or be very pretty. But so we'll try this and see this. I have a feeling I'm going to do a version of this with the special oils that I have that has no fragrance and no coloring into it, and then it's just a sensitive skin bar without any of that. But anyway, so I'm doing Oatmeal Milk and Honey fragrance from Brambleberry, and you know, I never thought like this is a smell I would love, and it is so good. And how I found it actually was I got a sample of soaps from Emily Shea over at Shea Design Studio, and if you're a soaper and haven't read her blog, you should go read it. It's a great blog. She has great pictures, great instructions. She's super creative with her soaps. It's called Soap and Restless is the name of her blog. So go check it out. But I got a sample of her soaps, and the one I thought I would really like was called Mojito, and I do like it. But in that sample pack of soaps, which was a bunch of little soaps, was an Oatmeal Milk and Honey, and it smelled so good. I think that was actually my favorite out of the soaps I got from her. So I'm planning to do that fragrance. So I have some colloidal oatmeal. This is 2 ounces. And then I'm going to do some colors. So I have titanium dioxide for white. I have cappuccino from Celestial Colors for the brown. And then I have gold mica, which I've mixed into some oil from the conservatory. Now, my special oils, I kept these out because I'm going to try to super fat. Now, you know, super fatting sounds really logical, right? So when you add your lye mixture to your oils, the lye causes the saponification of the fatty acids. So if I mix it now, then all the oils that are in here get saponified. And if I hold some oils out, then those are the ones that shouldn't get saponified, and I should have more of them left over in the end result. But I know that, as the scientist in me says, the saponification process happens more than just now in the pot, like while I'm stirring it. It will happen over the next 24 to 48 hours. I think the majority of the saponification process should complete. And if I remember correctly, Kevin Dunn, who is an author and a chemist, I might quote this wrong, but I think something like 90% of the saponification happens sort of now when you're doing it and pouring it and mixing it. But over the rest of the next 24 to 48 hours, the rest of that saponification continues to occur. So anyway, I'm going to try it. I know, some of this will probably get eaten up really by the saponification, but it feels good to sort of hold it out and try to keep them. Now, what I have in my special oils, I have 2 ounces each of avocado oil, neem oil, and babassu oil. So avocado oil is pretty, I think, common, but these are from Crafter's Choice, and they're supposed to have really good skin-loving qualities. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm also making this a goat milk soap. So you can see I have my goat milk. It stayed beautifully white. I spent probably the last half hour or so taking my goat milk out from the freezer. It was in ice cubes, putting it in a big metal bowl, and then pouring my lye on top of it slowly in little bits. That metal bowl was sitting in an ice bath, and then I added the lye slowly, constantly stirring, and that will help to keep your goat milk nice and white. If you add it really quickly, it will turn it orange and have a horrible smell. Now, the smell kind of goes away, so you can still continue to make soap with it, but it does retain, I think, a little bit of the odor, at least initially, which some people say will go away too. And I have a video out there about keeping goat milk white, so go watch that. Okay, so I think we're ready to get going. So I'm going to add in my fragrance. I'm sorry, I'm going to add in the oatmeal first, and my fragrance, and mix these up, because this goat milk will probably speed things up a little bit. You can see my oils are kind of cloudy. The temperatures are really low on here, which I know is a problem for some, because you can get false trace, or potentially, but my goat milk was really cold, so I wanted to keep my temperature. So my goat milk is around 65, my oils are around 75. And what else? Oh, the recipe. Let me go over the recipe really quickly. So, 8 ounces of castor oil, 12 ounces of olive oil pomace, 6 ounces of shea butter, 10 ounces of 76-degree coconut oil, 6 ounces of beef tallow, and then 2 ounces of neem, avocado, and babasu oil. All right. So, I'm going to mix this up just to get the colloidal oatmeal mixed in. Okay. This is also, I'm making this at a 7% super fat. Again, I'm trying to make this a little bit sort of as a skin-loving bar. So I'm super fatting a little higher than I normally do. I usually super fat around 5. Alright, so in goes my goat milk lye solution. Okay. Again, I was doing it kind of cold because I was worried a little bit about acceleration with the goat milk and a fragrance that I've never tried before, but, well, it doesn't look like it's setting up very firm. It doesn't look like it's moving super fast. Okay. So that's good. It looks like I have trace. I'm going to add in my other oils. Now, the brown, the really brown, is the neem oil, and it has an odor to it. So they suggest doing it in small amounts or using a fragrance with it, or I'm not sure if it will cure out, if that odor will cure out. It's pretty strong. Okay. Okay, that looks like trace. Oops, I have some more fragrance in there. In fact, I may add because of the neem oil, I'm actually going to add a little more fragrance. It was a little light on the fragrance side, but I'm gonna add that in. The thing about that oatmeal milk and honey fragrance is I have it in my shower, like on a dish, and when you start the shower up and you get like a nice warm shower going, even then without the water hitting the soap, you get the fragrance of that soap sort of in the air, and it smells so good. It's the only fragrance I've found so far that kind of does that, where you don't even have to be using the soap. Now, I find that when I'm actually using the soap in the shower, the fragrance kind of goes away. Like, it'll be there when you're lathering it up, but maybe it's just my nose is sort of getting used to it. But it's not quite as strong after a few minutes of actually using the soap, which is unusual, but it smells very good. Better than I thought I would like it. Okay, I'm going to divide these up. So, white, brown, and gold. And the white I'm going to divide up a little bit more because I want to save some white for the top. Okay, well, it's staying nice and loose. So I think I'm going to do an in-the-pot swirl with these colors, if it stays this nice and loose. Okay. Alright, so let me do the titanium dioxide last because that sometimes speeds things up a little bit. Now the celestial colors I really like. I've been using them a lot lately. They're very strong, so I only added a few drops. Yeah, Okay, I think I'm going to give it just a little bit more. Okay, all right, that's a beautiful light brown, kind of oatmeal-y kind of color. And then the gold. The rest of this in here. All right, I'm going to add the mica right into the soap, which I don't like to do all the time because you get clumps. But since I'm using my stick blender, I think I'll be okay. Okay. And then I'm just going to clean my stick blender off there a little bit. All right, and some titanium dioxide, which I'm almost all out of. I have an order coming in from Brambleberry that I hope will get here today. Okay. All right, I'm being a little messy today. Okay, so let's do kind of an in-the-pot swirl. This is staying nice and loose. Okay, I'm going to keep the rest of the white for on top. All right, and the rest of the gold. So now into my mold. I'm using the red mold from Essential Depot, which I really like this mold a lot. It has, when you're full though, the sides do have a tendency to bow out a little bit, even with the cardboard box it's in, but I usually put a piece of tape across 3 points to hold it up nice and even. That is going to be beautiful. Look at that. Look at those colors already. I think those are going to be great. Right now I'm getting a little bit of a combination of the fragrance and the neem oil, but the fragrance is coming through. Since I have some time, I actually think I'm going to do a little cocoa line. Now, I've tried a pencil line once before, and it failed because I used too much. So I'm going to try to keep a nice light hand here. And I just have this in a little tiny strainer, and I'm just sort of tapping the sides. Okay. All right, we'll see how that goes. All right, and now I'm just going to put my white on top. Get off my spatula. Even my white's still pretty thin. I mean, it's thickened up a little bit. It's not thick trace, but getting there. And then I think I'm going to do a little bit of a textured top when I get all my white in here. Okay. All right, so all right, I'm going to try, I usually use a spoon, but I'm going to try a little spatula today. Okay, I think that's it. I'm going to keep the top up kind of simple. I'm going to do just a little dusting of the cocoa powder on top here. Just sort of down the middle. And that's it. Okay. So, oatmeal milk and honey. I'm gonna put this in the fridge and take it out tomorrow. So after the break should be the cutting. Okay. Thanks, and stay tuned for the cutting right after the break. Bye. Hey everyone, okay, so here's the cutting of my oatmeal milk and honey. This recipe did really well. I just took it out of the fridge and the sides are really smooth. Although it's been about 24 hours. And it looks really good. I can see some of the colors on the side, so I'm excited to see how this all turns out. It's actually a little firmer than what I normally cut. But again, I just took it out of the fridge. Okay. Oh. So, there we go. I see the cappuccino and the white and the gold right now looks kind of greenish, but definitely a pretty swirl. And the pencil line came out really good. I'm very happy with that. That looks great. I still do smell the neem oil a little bit. So I'm hoping some of that will cure out as they sit for a little bit. So those swirls came out really super nice. I'm very pleased with those. They look great. I'm hoping that one color changes a little bit now that it's been cut, because on the outside, if you can see on the outside, there isn't that greeny color. It's more of a, oh, I don't know, like a tan yellow color. So I think some of that will change as these sit out for a little bit. I did sort of sprinkle some colloidal oatmeal on top, but it didn't really, you can't really see it. You can see the cocoa on top, but you can't really see the oatmeal. It just came out sort of with the cocoa. Oh, it's really sunny out today, so I'm sorry, there's a lot of overexposure there. Okay. So that's it for, ooh, that wire did funky things to that side. I'll have to clean that up some. Alright, that's it for oatmeal milk and honey. Questions, comments below. I'm hoping very much right now. I'm pretty sure the colors will change. I'm really not all that worried about the green that's in there. And even if it did stay that way, it's pretty. The thing, and the pencil line looks great. The thing I'm more concerned about is the neem oil right now and how it smells. So I can smell the oatmeal milk and honey, but I'm still getting some of the neem oil smell. So I hope that kind of cures out. I'm going to let it sit for a little bit and see how that goes. Okay. That's it. Thanks for watching. Questions, comments, please leave them. Love to get them. If you like it, subscribe. All right. Check back later for more soap videos. Bye.